What is up, guys? It is your boy N607 here. Welcome to a bit of a different review video. So today I'm going to be finally getting to review the Cuphead DLC, the Delicious Last Course, and considering this is a DLC, I'm gonna review it in a bit of a different way as I would for like a game, for example. But I'll pretty much go through everything that's offered in this DLC and explain whether or not it's worth it or not. So let's get right into this. And before we actually do get into this, I do want to apologize that this came out so late. I honestly wanted to do this video a while ago, but I just haven't been really able to get around to the DLC. I don't know, for a while I just kind of had it and didn't really do much, but I finally finished it. I finished most of the bosses. The only one I wasn't able to get to was the Angel and Devil fight because you need a stupid code for it. Seriously, if anybody knows like some workaround about it, like please let me know. I am not able to get to that boss, but I was able to finish all the other bosses in the game, including all the King's elite bosses and whatnot. So yeah, let's get right into this. So I guess we may as well start off with like, I guess the new bosses, since pretty much it's all about the new bosses and whatnot. And the new bosses, well, I'll go through them one by one, excluding the final boss, because I'll maybe touch on it a little bit. Let's start off with the, I think it's like the Moonshine Mob, I believe it's called. The one with like all the insects and whatnot, which was the first boss I played, which was actually not too bad. I like the music for it quite a bit. It is kind of difficult, especially like the last phase, since it was a little difficult. Keep in mind, I played with Mugman and not Miss Chalice, which we'll get to her in a second, but the boss was pretty solid, but it was definitely a little bit difficult. Then the next one I did was Esther something. It was the one plane level in the Wild West area, which was also pretty solid too. I actually like this boss fight quite a bit. A lot of people really like it, and I can definitely see why. A lot happens in this boss fight, and I think it's pretty solid. I don't really have much else to say, to be honest. Then I went against the giant one, whatever the giant one is. Honestly, probably the easiest one out of them all. It only took me like 4 or 5 attempts to beat him. He really wasn't that hard compared to the others. I don't know, even the first phase, despite a lot of stuff happening in that first phase with like the platforms and whatnot, I didn't find it too difficult, to be honest. I don't know, I had an easier time with that than some of the other ones. And then there was the Snow Cult one, I believe it is, which was honestly probably maybe the most difficult one. I'm not completely sure. It was a difficult boss fight. It was mostly that first phase. That first phase is annoying as hell. I don't know why it is. I just don't have I don't have any good luck with that first like phase. I don't know. It's just difficult. But like the second phase isn't the worst, and like the third phase is actually like really easy. I don't know, a lot of these bosses get easier over time, though that doesn't apply to the next one, which was I think it's called Dog on Dog Fight or something like that, where basically it's not necessarily the exact same as the other plane levels. It's actually one of the like platforming like bosses. It's actually a pretty okay boss fight. I don't like it the most, mostly because of the screen rotating. I don't really like that. It makes things really difficult. But hey, it was still a solid fight regardless. And then the final boss, I won't like touch into it too much, but I really do like how they did, and I really like how they made it much more sinister than, I mean, all of us kind of expected who the final boss would be, but like even so, I think they did a really solid job at really capturing the sinister feeling of that boss fight. So yeah. And then there was like also like the King's Elite bosses, which are basically different in the sense that you use the parry mechanic to attack them, and those are all fine. The one that was like with like the wheel and like the axe with like all the balls and stuff like that, that one was honestly kind of annoying, though. I didn't really like that one. I don't like that one. And the night one was also a little difficult too, since it really was close sometimes. But yeah, boss wise, it's pretty solid, honestly. And now moving on to the character I mentioned before, Miss Chalice, being able to play as her. And it's actually a charm in the game. I thought she'd just be a playable character, like kind of how you can choose Cuphead or Mugman, but nope. You just play as Miss Chalice, and I honestly don't really care too much for her playstyle. I don't know. I prefer Cuphead and Mugman, honestly. I don't know. It's more simple. I don't know. It's just a case of getting used to, but I played Cuphead like so much with like the two brothers, like I'm just used to how they play, even though they play the exact same way. But yeah, and the new weapons are alright too. I didn't really play with them too much because I kind of just used my typical setup: the spread, then pea shooter, then the super art 1, and then the 2 heart. So that way you have like 5 HP. I used that and I pretty much got through the whole game, and that's pretty much how I beat the base game too. So yeah. But anyways, yeah, that's really all there is to cover. Like I said, it's a DLC, but hey, the music's also quite good too. I like the music. I don't know if I like it as much as I have the main game, but there's still some pretty solid songs in there, especially the one for the Moonshine Mob and the final boss. Those are really solid in my opinion. And yeah, that is honestly mostly it for this video. So I kind of want to get into the final part of it and talk about what I like. What do I recommend it? Now, do I recommend it? Well, yes. If you play Cuphead and you like it and you want to support the devs, absolutely get it. It's only like $8, but like there's a lot you get in this package, and I think it's really solid. But I do have to kind of mention this, and I do hate to end this on a bit more of a sour note, but I do kind of need to talk about the fact that this took so long to release. You keep in mind, this is DLC, and it took them 4 years to make it. Listen, I get that this stuff is difficult to make. I understand COVID and the console ports also made things more complicated, but I don't know, man. When you say that things are coming out on like XXX date, like I kind of expect it by that point without delaying over and over and over. At that, I mean, if you don't think it's, I mean, this is supposed to come out in 2019 for crying out loud. It should have come out then. Or it should have come out in 2020 or 2021, but like it took this long for DLC. But I don't know. Again, I appreciate all the work they did, and it's not easy work either, especially in this case. But I think at that point you should just say coming soon. Don't give us release windows that aren't gonna happen, because it doesn't seem good in my opinion. Just say it's coming out soon, and then give us a firm release date when you actually know. But regardless, though, that doesn't really have the most to do with DLC. That's more so just a studio MDHR issue. But hey, it's easy to resolve. But anyways, getting back to the DLC, I don't really know how to score it, to be completely honest, but I'll give it a score anyways. The Cuphead DLC as DLC, 8 out of 10. It's pretty solid. I mean, I wish there were some platform levels in there too, but whatever. It's not the biggest deal in the world. It's $8. I recommend getting it. And yeah. So that's pretty much all I have to really say about it. So let me know what you guys think of the DLC. And if you guys have played it and if you guys have finished it at all. And yeah. And also let me know how I can get to that Angel and Devil fight and like bypass the whole code thing, because I can't figure out the stupid code. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out, everybody. Take care.